And with that, shut down your visors, O2 on, and prepare for ignition, 202. Copy that, and initiating a full 10-4-4.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You, All Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and it's so good to be back with you all today. I'm telling you what, it has been a beautiful week. It has been a marvelous time. The motherboard is tired, not tired, but tired, T-I-R-E-D. Tired, but we're here. It's another day's journey. Today's date is Friday, July 15th in the year 2022. And so let's get a shout on for a Friday. We made it. Sister Green Dress, pick them up and put them down. Oh, I see you, I see you, I see you. It's so good to be here, y'all. It's so good to be here. And I tell you what, if you don't know, let me tell you, I missed you guys. Oh my goodness, I have missed you all. That's an understatement. I'm like, Lord, I think I'm addicted to the lion's den. I'm addicted to the lions in the lion's den. But I got you this morning. Come on, Jennifer. I missed you, babies. I missed you all, but we're here this morning, and so let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Now, you may hear some echo in the background. It's not a sound effect. The room currently has nothing in it, and so I'm echoing off the wall, so you're going to get some bounce-back sound from off the wall. I hope it's not too distracting, but I just couldn't miss another day. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't miss y'all another day. You were on the verge of calling me, Den Darn. You could have called me, girl. You could have called me. You absolutely could have. Listen, I was on the verge of doing something. I'm telling y'all, I missed you. Come on, Kai Chick. You better dance. I see you, Den Darn. Y'all better dance. Come on up in here and you better dance. This is family. We are family, and I love every last one of you. Now, I want to go ahead and get started. Let me know how the sound is doing. If I need to take some station breaks and get everything adjusted, I hope that you're hearing me well and that it's not problematic. But just talk back to me, talk to my engineer, and we'll get you going. We'll get things back to what you're accustomed to having. It may be a little bit of a rough ride today, but I hope not. But like I said, I just had to come in. Now, you know how we do it. We always like to start with those that came into the Lion's Den bright and early this morning. Came in bright and early just to make sure that there was plenty of love, joy, soul, peace, and happiness in the Lion's Den when the rest of us got here this morning. So let's get this party crack-a-lacking and let's look and see. Now, I see 4 beautiful souls that came in. Number 4 was none other than, y'all know this is my brother. I love me some him. Truck driver. That was my number 4 in the room, checking on everybody. I appreciate you, Truck. I appreciate you. He's out there driving and doing his thing, but he came in and said good morning to the family, and we appreciate you for that. Now, you just be careful out there in them there streets, and thank you for coming in early this morning. Now, the third person in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than Miss Fabulous. Miss Fabulous, you did that. You were the third person in the Lions Den. It was good to see you. Come on in. That's our head usher. And I'm going to go back and deal with what she said a little bit earlier because I think I saw something up there. I'm not even going to say the word because Tall Pumps is in here. If I say the word, y'all already know what's going to be triggered. You already know if I say the word. You know that song say my name, say my name. Say the word, and it's off and popping in here in the Lions Den. So I'm gonna have to hold that for just a second. Now, the second person that made it into the Lions Den this morning is none other than Din Darn. Din Darn came on up in here. You did that, baby. You did that. Come on in the room, and I need a picture of you, Din Darn. But come on in the room, sis. So much love coming to you. Yes, we were having withdrawal symptoms. We were having DTs, y'all. We were on the verge of calling each other because we just couldn't take it another day. Just couldn't take it another day without the Lions in the Lions Den. I know how you felt, Din Darn. I felt the same identical way. And you can go ahead and sit down on that love seat over there. Sit right there next to Miss Fabulous. The two of y'all scooch over now, scooch over, because I want to get all of y'all in here. We don't want to miss anybody. Now, when I look at the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, I tell you what, it just makes my soul happy. I'm just all down on the insides because the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair is none other than from the ATL, Kim Possible 711. You did that. You did it, girl. You did it. Come on, get your lips, your hips, and your fingertips. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair. Come on, Kim Possible. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she beautiful, y'all? Yes, that is the pastor from the ATL. The pastor from the ATL. Congratulations to you, sis, and thank you for coming in. I want y'all to know, 12 o'clock on the dot, the pastor was in the house. So I appreciate you. So much love coming to you, Kim. You know I love you. Now, she is the other part of Good Grief, which will be airing today. If all goes well, it will be airing today at 12 o'clock Central Time. We've been missing them. We missed them on last week, and they're rarely, if ever, out of position, but last week's schedule just didn't accommodate any of us. So you may have missed us here in Good Grief, but we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be right back with you on today if everything goes well. Appreciate you so much. And thank you, Kim Possible 711. Now, you know how we like to do it. And this is going to be a real easy day. I saw Jennifer said she's kind of sensitive today. So we just going to roll in here nice and easy. We going to roll in here nice and easy and try to keep everybody's blood pressure down today and just roll around. You know, at this juncture of the road, we always like to stop and appreciate our moderators in the room. We have the best mods in the world. Y'all know her right there. You know who she is. You know I call her the prophetess. But here she is. Yes, Shelly Thunder. Shelly Thunder, we appreciate. Get that mod love going. Get that mod love going. Yes, Shelly Thunder takes so good care of us right here. Headed up with the Rebel Inc. Yes, there she is, the Rebel Inc., who is a streamer extraordinaire. If you're not following the Rebel Inc., I want you to, as I say, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways and please follow the Rebel Inc. She will bless your whole entire life. And I appreciate her so much. She's been working untiringly. I appreciate her always for making up the difference in the lack in the Lion's Den. And of course, the Quiet Storm, the third part of the Blessed Trinity, Michelle Brownell, those three beautiful ladies. I'm telling you, they are just the absolute best. And I couldn't make it without them. I really, really couldn't. And that is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Now, coming on, I want to come around and I want to say good morning to everybody. And let's go ahead and get those coffee cups out. Can we do that? Let's go ahead and get those coffee cups out. Here we go. And I want to go at the top and work my way down. As as my mother said, when you walk into the room, speak to somebody. Oh, we got a hype train going on, y'all. I just looked over and said, oh my goodness, thank you all. Thank you so much. I done missed folks, I'm sure. I'll get to that as I scroll down, and I'm gonna thank you as I come. But thank you for the hype train, 75%. Oh my goodness, thank you. Listen. Good morning, and I see you. BTD Mom, good morning. Come on in here, sis. Truck driver 57, I call him Mufasa. Yes, the Lion King is in the room. Come on in here, truck. So much love to you. Jonna CPW, who's one of my friends that airs with me on Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock Central Time in the PM. Come on in here, sis. Phyllis Coleman is in the house. That's my sister from another mother. Yes, she is, and so much love coming to you. Come in blowing those kisses. I take every last one of them. Mel Holiday, otherwise known as Miss Fabulous, is in the room. Yes, she is. She's also our head usher here, and I see her doing some talking. I'm gonna get to her in just a second. And I love you. You know I do. I can tell you ain't got no act right in your bag this morning. Joanna G98 is in the room. That's my sister, and I love you. Come on in here. Kim Possible 711, you know how I say it. Oh, thank heaven for 711, and that's the pastor from the ATL. Come on in here, sis. So much mad love coming to you. Let me see who else. Tall Pumps is pumping tall. I see you, my sister, and so much love coming to you. Good morning to you, girl. Good morning to you. Get them pumps ready, because it's coming in just a second. Then we got, let me see who else is in the room. Kai Chick is my evangelist that goes into the highways and hedges and compels folks to come into the Lion's Den. I appreciate you, sis, and you know I love you so much. Happy Friday to you. Jennifer is in the room, feeling a little sensitive this morning, but she's here, and we're going to handle her with care this morning. Yes, we're going to use a little gentle loving care, and we're just going to appreciate and hug on you this morning, Jennifer. Thank you for letting us know how you're feeling on this fine Friday. Coming on down, and let's see who else is here. I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking it out, and I see, let me see who I see. And thank you for the biddies. Level 2 is complete. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get to y'all in just a second. I want to tell every last one of you thank you. Den Darn is in the room. Good morning, sis, and I see you. Coming on down, and see who came in the basement while I was upstairs. I'm gonna check out and see who all came in the basement while I was upstairs. Uncle Diddy is part of this hype train. Thank you for that resub. Listen, Uncle Diddy, he does grown man business over there in his channel. If you're not following him, as I said, quit your wicked ways. And I need you to follow Uncle Diddy. He will bless your whole life. I was in on that prayer on the other day, and it blessed me, Unc. It blessed me. Thank you so much for all that you do. Now check this out. Let me see who else is in the room. I'm loving it. Tall Pumps, thank you for the biddy, sis. Auntie Diddy is in the room, y'all. She's in the room. That's my sis. She is the mod and the counterpart of Uncle Diddy, and I just appreciate you so much. You've been with us a long time right here, station identification, and I can't tell you how much I thank you. Come on. Again, she's with Uncle Diddy, and if you're not with that community over there, he said he got the greatest community in the world. Y'all better go over there and get a part of it. Go over there and get you some. Love it. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking out. Thank you for those biddies, Kai Chick. Kai Chick is always at it. BTD Mom, thank you for those roaring biddies. Come on in here. And I see those coffee cups out. Kim Possible, thank you for those roaring biddies. Miss Frenchie 0527, thank you for 3 months in the row. I appreciate you so much. Mad love coming to you, and come on in here. Grace Softly, come on in here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Kai Chick just cheered another 300 roaring biddies. Thank you so much. Come on, 4 months for Mac TTF, and I'm surmising that Auntie Diddy might be on her duty out there, giving all kind of folk all kind of love love and subscribing them. Thank you for those bits. Thank you for the biddies. And if I'm guessing right, I'm going to guess that you probably did some gifted subs in there. I'm a little behind on that. But at the end of the day, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are just such beautiful people. And already we started right off. We started downtown Melvin Brown. Good morning to you, my brother. Thank you for joining me here in the Lion's Den this morning. It's always good to see you. Kansas City in the house. Come through, come home. I'm a new Texan. I'm a new Texan, so I'm getting acclimated to everything's big in Texas, but I'm getting used to it, y'all. I'm getting used to it, but I still got my Kansas City peeps, Melvin Brown, Phyllis Coleman, still checking in, and I appreciate you all for that. I want to say thank you for this hype train. Oh my goodness. Listen, I appreciate you. Let me come over and... I love you, man. You know I love you. I tell you what, I'm trying to look at my board. Kai Chick is going forth. That's why I call her the evangelist. That's why I call her the evangelist. She just goes forth. She just goes forth. I told you. She goes into the highways and hedges and compels people to come in and be a part of the Lion's Den. And I appreciate you for that, sis. I really, really do. Looking at this level 3 hype train at 90%. I appreciate you. And, you know, Andra Penn, listen, that's one of my friends from Kansas City and one of my friends of a lifetime. Good morning to you, Andra. Welcome to the Lion's Den, and come on in here, get your coffee cup out and let's roar. That's what we doing here in the Lion's Den. So glad to have you. Now, listen, I'm gonna give it to you, and it's a Friday. All of my real churchy folk, close your eyes for about 10 seconds, because listen, they done had it, they've called it several times, and they shall not be denied. They shall not be denied. It's a poll call. Uh-oh, it's a poll call. Come through, chocolate testimony. Come through. I see you, Georgia Peach Cobbler. I see you, sis. Come on through. Come on through. Come on through. I see you. It's a poll call led by none other than Tall Pumps, and she's pumping tall. She is the leader of the poll call, y'all. And I saw Mel, we hadn't even gotten started yet, and they were asking for poll call. Lord Jesus, y'all just can't get off the pole. Y'all just can't get off the pole. Ladies, get it. That's how we do it in the Lion's Den. That's how we do it with my peeps. Y'all know y'all too. Kai Chick, I see you getting it, girl. I see you getting it. I see you getting it. So there you go. And don't y'all put me out. Don't y'all put me out, because we have Georgia Peach Cobbler with extra crust is on duty. You know I love y'all. We laugh in the Lion's Den. We not starchy over here. So, you know, I love it that we come in, we have fun, we have a good time, and at the end of the day, we still righteous, and we still love God, and we still do our thing, and I appreciate every last one of you. You guys are just a blessing to me. Now, today, good morning, MCP812. It's so good to see you in the chat this morning. Come on in here, come on in here, come on in here. Now listen, things have been moving, things are going well. I'll tell you what, now since we had a poll call in here, you know, I don't necessarily get up on the poll, but can I get a shout? marvelous things, awesome things going on, y'all. And listen, I keep saying this over and over. Come on, Kim Possible, still praising God for another year. Yes, Kim had a birthday. And you know what, Kim, if I missed your birthday on the other day, listen, we can always get it in. Just another year of life and another year, another opportunity. This is what we want to say to the pastor from the ATL.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Come through. It's another year for you, another 365 around the sun. And listen, we're blessed to have you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I cannot say that enough. Happy birthday, Kim Possible. And we're celebrating you and all that you are. Just a phenomenal woman. Truck, I got to listen to your birthday wishes. I'm going to tell you what, I've been moving and that's all I've been doing. I think I was up over almost nearly 48 hours straight. Non-stop, no sleep, no nothing. So I might even be still a little delirious today, y'all. I might just have a touch of delirium still on me. But we're here. I just couldn't miss you another day. Just can't make it without you. I just couldn't miss another day, so I had to come on. But I'll go back and catch that truck driver. And to everybody that sends things to me, I appreciate you so much. You just don't know how appreciated you are. But I want to express it to you the best way that I can. So here we go. I know, Joanna G, listen, you see all this gray hair up on my head? This gray head said, listen, I'm trying to tell you, you are not as young as you used to be. Sit your lips, your hips, and your fingertips down somewhere. And I tell you what happened, Joanna G. I sat down in the chair on yesterday. I think it was along about 3 o'clock or somewhere thereabouts, and my eyes didn't open again until after 9 o'clock last night, 9:30. And child, I'm trying to tell you, I thought I was just sitting there. I didn't call myself trying to take a nap or anything, but honey, the next thing I knew, I sat there too long and your girl was out. So, but I'm not mad. I'm not stressing. I'm not pressing. I'm just taking my time. I said, I'm up in here now. So you know how it goes, Joanna. Listen, I'm taking my time. I'm not in a rush. Things are in here. I'm going to sit down and take my time and unpack and do what I got to do. But listen, now to tell you that, since I took that big long nap then at 1 o'clock this morning, I was putting this studio together. So, if anything doesn't look right in this studio, y'all just chalk it up to the fact it was 2 o'clock in the morning when I was putting it together. I'm happy to be here too, Joanna G. I'm happy to be here. You all just don't know what the Lions Den does for me. I'm in Texas, Tall Pumps. I'm in Texas. Everything's big in Texas. And I saw, I think Truck said something about Texas earlier that I missed. I think when we were doing, let me roll up and see if I can see it real fast. Delicious Melons, how did I miss you in that poll call? I see you, girl. I see you. But yes, I'm here. So listen, looking for great things to happen. As I've been saying, I'm under an open heaven. You're under an open heaven. Things, doors, oh my goodness, places. It's just opening up for you. It's just opening up to you. And that boss energy that we've been talking about, the boss energy that we've been teaching, the boss energy that we've been walking in is making waves. And I'm so glad for that. So listen, I feel like I'm not the only one. You too. So at the end of the day, the usher board missed the tithing or the tilting. I'm not sure which one of those you wanted that to be, Mel. Obviously, as a pastor, I want to say tithing. You meant tithing, but somehow or another, I think you meant tilting. Anyhow, let's get this party started. Let's get this party crack-a-lacking. I am taking my time this morning because I'm a little bit tired, but I just had to be here and I wanted to chat with you. Now, what had happened was while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, we're going to have a little conversation about what happened because, listen, there's some things going on in the land, and I don't know if I'm going to get into all of it because I'm kind of like Jennifer this morning. I'm a little sensitive and I'm a little ready to be handled gently. Sometimes you just gotta, what did Tina Turner say? Sometimes you just want to take it slow and easy, like sometimes, and and then the other times you get out there and there are times for that, and then there are times to just take it slow and easy. So today's gonna be a Tina Turner slow and easy day. Is that all right? We gonna get her done, but it's gonna be a slow and come on, Rufus, give us the deets. Tall Pumps, I love you, girl. I love you. Well, let's get started with the deets. I will start with, first and foremost, we do send our condolences to those in the loss of Donald Trump's ex-wife, Ivana Trump, who passed away of a heart attack. Our prayers and our condolences go out to the family. And listen, that's one thing we can do, regardless of who, what, where, when, and why. We can still pray and we can still have hearts of compassion and we can still care for those because this is somebody's loved one. This is someone, as much as we have angst towards her ex-husband, she was a life, is a person, and we just want to respect her children. And all three of the Trump children that we talk about so frequently in the news, this is their mother. Rebel. Are you not feeling? Are you saying what, that you didn't know she died, or I'm okay? I'm gonna assume you didn't know that she had passed away. Yes, the story as it was reported to me. It was reported to me that they received a 911 call that there was someone there at the apartment that was giving aid and she was unresponsive. And when the paramedics arrived on the scene, they identified that they believe she had a heart attack and pronounced her DOA. But she was dead at the scene is the understanding that I have. So again, this is humanity. And I'm going to stop and say this because this is where I don't always understand those that profess that they love God and everything about them is about God and this and that and the other, but they still can hurt, maim, and kill others and really don't have any heart to care. Humanity says even if we have issues, even if we have areas that don't quite mesh together. Humanity says you still care about a person's life. So Donald Jr., Eric, Ivanka, and others as well, I'm sure, are grieving at this point over this loss. And we can stop and still show our humanity. Tall Pumps, I see your coffee cup. I see you told Rufus to give you the tea, to give you the coffee. So here it is. It is, Joanna. That's the truth. If you really, I just don't know how you can say all of this that you're doing is based around religion. A lot of what we hear coming from the alt-right and the extreme right, they're identifying it as because of their love for God, love of country, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But when you just don't care about people's lives, there's something about that just does not line up for me. It just does not. And I mean that all the way across the board. I'm going to come here because, some folk get really agitated with me on this as well. But that also goes to all the good Christians that cannot stand and are derogatory and destructive towards LGBTQ+. I'm like, it's the same scenario. How can you do all of this spouting about how you love God and God is in you, but I hear nothing but hatred coming from your mouth because you feel like your quote unquote righteous indignation is stirred up? I just need you to check that righteous indignation. Is that your righteousness or is that God's? Because I just don't see the connection there. So humanity is humanity. And in any humanity that we don't care about and we can be ill and hateful towards, I just want us to check that out. And let's check our own hearts. Can we do that? Even before we start talking about everybody else, check your own. Somebody said sweep around your own back door before you try to sweep around mine. I just feel like these are areas that we really need to start looking at and saying. And in my mind, good morning, Cassandra Woke 2022. Come on in here. Come on in here. That's my sis. I love you. I think I might be a little closer to you, but I'm here. I'm here in the Texas state. Now, that's what I wanted to say. And I will say, in honesty, when I read the story, I was like, do I want to report on that or do I want to just leave that alone? And my reaction and my response really was one that said, if we're just reporting fairly and we're reporting equally across the board, that should be for anybody. So there you have it. For those, again, that didn't know, Ivana Trump has passed away of an apparent heart attack. I do believe they're going to be doing an autopsy later on. So prayers going her way. Crazy Berrytown. She's in the room, y'all. She's in the room. 12 months in a row. Thank you for that resub. I appreciate you. Crazy Berrytown. I want you all to check her out. She is going to Zumba you to Zion. That's my girl. She is a streamer. If you're not following her, quit your wicked ways. Go out there and follow Crazy Berrytown. I don't think my alerts are working yet, you all, but you know my girl. You know my girl. So much love to her. And you have just so much love. She will be 12 o'clock noon, unless I find out something differently. She will be with Kim Possible 7-Eleven on Good Grief today, 12 o'clock Central Time. And for all of those that want to come in and be a part of that journey, if you're on the journey of grief, I'm telling you, Good Grief is the room to be in. 12 o'clock Fridays here on this channel. 12 o'clock Fridays on this channel. If you know somebody that's grieving and they need somebody. We're not therapists. We're on for Good Grief. Good. I got you, Crazy Berrytown. We're not therapists or anything like that. This is a journey where you are not alone, and we have real conversations and we talk about real stuff as it relates to grief. I promise you, it will help you. It will bless your whole life. Crazy Berrytown, Kim Possible 7-Eleven, they head that up and do a tremendous job every week. So you don't want to miss that. That's my girl. So I had to stop for that and speak on that today. To let you know we will be in the house. Now, I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking out different things. And again, I am very attentive. Jennifer came in and was very transparent in saying she's a little sensitive this morning. So we're going to stay kind of in the cut. And I'm a little tired and might be sensitive too. So I'm going to we're going to just kind of skate through here and see what we want to talk about. I'm going to cherry pick today. I'm not going to take all of this because, honey, it's a lot of drama going on right now. Something going on over in Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lanka, the president has just resigned and stepped down. And I guess they got crisis going on in the country of Sri Lanka. So it is what it is over there. Now, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do something that I normally have not done. But I have a page that's called News and Views, which you viewers can actually put stories in there. News for viewers. And I want to come back and see this morning, is there anything that you all have for me over there? Let me see. My sister wants to go run a little slow. I'm going to do this for comedy. John Studios, come on in here, my brother. John Studios is also a streamer. This is my brother. He's my guy. It's so good to see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Please go and follow him. If you're not following him, he will bless your life. Now, this one I'm going to do. Auntie Diddy put this in here for me. Thank you, Auntie. Auntie Diddy put this in News for Views, and I'm going to let it roll. This Herschel Walker, that's how I'm going to say. Those two names, Herschel and Walker together. Herschel and Walker together. That name to this individual is just almost unbelievable. This brother, I just can't understand what's going on with this man. I'm going to run this and let me see. I think it done took off without me here. I got some buffering going on. But let me see if I can get this queued up for y'all. I just don't know what to say about this brother. I think he needs medication. I'm going to see if this buffering's going to quit. But hold on just a second. He
got rid of the pipeline. Getting rid of the pipeline. Getting rid of our energy. Starts his downfall.
Oh, hold on a second. I didn't see. My head's right in the middle of the screen, y'all. Hold on just a second. Now, as I said, all I need to do is really just say Herschel and Walker together. Too many hits to his head. Crazy Barry Johnson. Oh, Lord. Not him. You see him on your TV every day and you just can't deal. Georgians, I feel for y'all. I feel for y'all in the great state of Georgia. Because listen, I just cannot. Please don't let this man, please. I'm begging like James Brown. Please don't let this man get his lips, his hips, and his fingertips in office. Because I'm telling you, this man needs medication. When Auntie Diddy sent this to me, I said, you know what? I truly believe that we need to have mental health assessments for people before they run for office. Herschel and his dastardly offspring, Chrissy. Herschel Walker equals dumb bed. Pray for the USA. We're praying for Georgia. So here we go. This is some of his championing conversation. We praying for Georgia, Kim Possible. We praying for y'all. Listen, I need y'all to get out and vote. Every Georgian in here, I need y'all to get out and vote against Herschel Walker. Here we go. Here's some of his genius at work.
He got rid of the pipeline. Getting rid of the pipeline, getting rid of our energy starts his downfall. Because we need energy for everything. Do y'all know that? And they were talking about the Green New Deal. You know, climate change. I'm going to help y'all with that real quickly. And I'm going to do it in the Wrightsville way. So you can understand what I'm saying. We, in America, have some of the cleanest air and cleanest water of anybody in the world. So what we do is we're going to put from the Green New Deal millions or billions of dollars cleaning our good air up. So all of a sudden China and India ain't putting nothing in there cleaning that situation up. So all that bad air is still there. But since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move. So it moves over to our good air space. And now we gotta clean that back up.
Wait a minute. I just gotta play it one more time. This whole talk is absolutely. But Tom Pumps, he said, he wait a minute. First, before he got rid of energy, he got rid of the pipeline. Get rid of that and get energy. Then he ended up getting rid of that. And China done stole our air. I'm sorry, y'all. I said, this is Auntie Diddy. Thank you for this one. This was too good to pass up. This was too good to pass up.
Dad, you got rid of the pipeline. Get rid of the pipeline.
Get rid of the pipeline.
Energy.
Get rid of the
Start
pipeline.
this downfall. Because we need energy for everything.
Get rid of the pipeline and get energy.
And they were talking about the Green New Deal. You know, climate change. I'm going to help y'all with that real quickly, and I'm going to do it in the Wrightsville way so you can understand what I'm saying.
Wait a minute.
In America have something to...
Now let me stop right there. He's showing his preacher moment. He makes a statement, then he stops and he says, I'm going to help y'all right there. You know how the preachers do that? I'm going to help y'all right there. That means I'm going to bring you out on that. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to break it down for you. If you didn't understand it, I'm getting ready to break this thing down in a way that you can get it down in y'all shondo. He said, I'm going to help you right there. I'm going to help you right there. Let me be the expert that's going to tell you how all of this works together. Now that you done got rid of the pipeline and got energy, and then after you got rid of the energy and got some clean air, and now he's getting ready to break it down for you. Now I want you to, now listen, I need y'all in the Sunday school class. I need y'all to act right. I need y'all to act like you in Sunday school class and let him break this down for you. He's going to help you. He's going to help you right here. That's what he said. He's going to help you right here. And here we go.
In America, have some of the cleanest air and cleanest water of anybody in the world. So what we do is we're going to put from the Green New Deal millions or billions of dollars cleaning our good air up. So all of a sudden China and India ain't putting nothing in there cleaning that situation up. So all that bad air is still there. But since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move. So it moves over to our good air space. And now we gotta clean that back up.
Saints. I hope y'all got a good understanding on that. Because he broke it down for you. He broke it down for you. Now, this is what I want to say. If you couldn't comprehend the depth of how he broke that down, that's on you. If you could not understand the richness and the deepness, the depths of what he just explained, how China is stealing our good air, and then at the end of the day, we clean that good air, and we clean that good air, and then that air somehow floats, not to any other place. Our good air floats back over there to China. Because you know that the conversation they love to have anytime you talk about China, they're just certain triggers that just get people so worked up that they just get in a froth and a frenzy that they can't think straight. All you gotta do is say China and it takes the people there. So at the end of the day, I see you, John Studios. He made my head hurt too. And he doesn't understand the words that are coming out of his mouth. Crazy Crazy Berry Town. I see you, Kai Chick. I don't understand. He doesn't understand either, as Crazy Berry Town said. This man that just talked himself around in a circle, and the people amening, I see you on that. The people that are amening and co-signing this, these are the folks that we need to be concerned about. Because I'm telling you, this conversation that this man just had with himself and those people made absolutely, positively no sense. You purpose not to watch any video that he's in. And I agree with you there. You said something very powerfully, Kim Possible. The people in the room are using him for comic relief. And that's the sad thing about it. And this is why I look at my brother. And does he not care? I don't know that he doesn't care, Kim Possible. I think he doesn't know that they're using him for comic relief. I don't think he has a clue. I think someone has deluded him into thinking they love him, they're supporting him, they're in his corner, they're on his side. Somebody has deluded him into believing that, and somebody has pumped his head with something, and he's out here doing what he thinks is in the best interest of the country, and these people are laughing at him all the way to the bank. Is there a pipeline to China exporting our air? You're confused too, because I think he is as well, Tall Pumps. This is a ground zero movie or less than zero. He's smoking, y'all. You know a crackhead when you see one. Tall Pumps, I can't attest to that. I cannot attest to that. All I know. Good morning, Lynette Dickerson. There's my queen. Come on in here. I cannot attest to that, but I can attest to the fact that this man's mind is really boggled. And that explanation where he's going to help y'all. I'm going to help you right there. Did nothing but muddy the water even more and show more of his ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I'm not trying to be derogatory toward him. I'm saying ignorant toward, he doesn't even know the talking points to try to make about somebody told him to come out against green energy. And maybe said green energy is this, this, and this. And now he's coming out trying to talk against green energy, totally clueless about what he's talking about. So I'm with you on that, Kim Possible. Somebody is, the people that are laughing, the people that are he and kikiing, they're using him for comic relief and not in a good way. So at the end of the day, he is a fool who believes he knows about every single topic there is on the planet. But did you understand, Joanna G, make it make sense. There's no sense for it. If crazy, truck driver said, if crazy was a person, Kai Chick, you said, you just can't. So at the end of the day, he doesn't understand what he said either. I agree with you. Oh my bejesus, waiting to exhale. Houston, we have several problems, and you are right, Cassandra Woke. There's a problem. And now listen, you bet he can't say the same thing twice. He doesn't know what he just said. He does not know what he just said. No, Teresa, it wasn't just you. Good morning, Teresa Jones. Get your teacup out, sis. Get your teacup out. He doesn't know what he just said. He just got up there and vomited out a whole bunch of words. B11R, come on. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. So much love coming to you. Welcome to the Lion's Den. He just came in and started talking. Dr. Dady Priest. Oh my goodness. The high priestess is here. Dr. Dady Priest is in the room. And if you're not following her, quit your wicked ways and go out there and follow Dr. Dady Priest. She will bless your whole life. Good morning to you, sis. And so much mad love coming to you. So thank you for being here on this fine day. Yeah, so he doesn't know what he just said, Teresa. He doesn't know what we're talking about. Hershey. Hershey. Oh my goodness. Hershey is loose. Hershey is loose. And so, I'm praying for y'all. Kim asked and listen, y'all, we ain't playing up in here. Georgia needs prayer. Georgia needs prayer because these ain't Georgia peaches that we talking about. These peaches have worms in them. I'm like, Lord Jesus. Auntie Diddy sent us this video, Dr. Dady Priest, and this man talked himself around into a whole big circle that didn't make not a hill of beans. Not one iota of what he said made sense. Vomit, bring the operative word. Listen, it is the operative word, being, because at the end of the day, that man just said a whole lot of nothing that made absolutely positively no sense. But this is what's going to get me, because did we not, they used to say at the end of the sermons, did not our hearts burn within no, our hearts burned within and without, because this man he just left us crispity on the spit, because this, if he should be elected, is what we're going to have to deal with for X number of years in the state of Georgia. So, I just hope and pray. I'm really, really, really praying that this man and all of that you just heard him vomit out, that meant absolutely positively nothing. That's what you're going to have to deal with if Georgia doesn't get some act right and get the right folks up in there. So listen, I hope and pray that this will be something that will get acclimated, get the voters out, get them out and vote. Our lives depend on it. And on this, I'm not trying to be partisan. I am saying, however, this type of insanity on both sides, because Joe Manchin's in the news today. I just choose not to talk about him, but he's done another flip-flop in another major area against the Democrats. So, and when I say that, again, I'm not trying to be partisan. I'm talking about how you see the insanity of people that really seem and act like they don't care about the people. And that's on both sides. Understand what I'm saying? That's on both sides. I hope and pray that we can start getting some people that can come in and represent us that are not in this mindset of insanity, because it's really crazy stuff. So again, thank you, Auntie Diddy, for that. I appreciate you for sending that to us. So Jabez, who is a definite defender, and he is for human rights. Hershey got nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Listen, I hope Georgia doesn't feel like a nut. That's all I'm praying. I'm praying that Georgia doesn't feel like a nut, because they got one. They got one ready, cocked and loaded, ready to go. So I'm hoping that they don't feel like a nut on this one. Now, as I said, Jabez, who is one of my friends that comes in on Sundays and we talk and we chat, this is something that he wanted to have highlighted, and so I'm going to address this as well. U.S. prison system needs to be revamped for sure. He is definitely an advocate for workers' rights. He put in, and all of this is in Discord, so you can go out and read it. The U.S. prison workers have produced $11 billion worth of goods and services for little to no pay at all. Now, I want you to look at that number, and he put that in because, again, we don't just throw shade, we shed light. I want you to look at that and understand how the prison system, the prison industrial system has really become the new slavery. And when you look at figures like that, when you look at numbers like that, and I'm going to remind you, I told you all the story a few weeks ago about the man in Louisiana that was caught with 1.5 ounces of marijuana on his person and was sentenced to life in prison. These are real stories. This isn't made up. The man had 1.5 ounces of marijuana and was sentenced to life in prison for 1.5 ounces of weed. Now, this is where I want us to understand why they're so happy to put people in prison and leave them there. U.S. prison workers produced $11 billion worth of goods and services. I just want that to sink in. And again, this comes from Jabez. He is very socially conscious and very socially aware. This is the kind of stuff that really, this is what he thrives on, this justice and equality for all. This is a good read for anybody that wants to go out there and read it. But it's just astounding that the PRISM system is making that kind of money, and to highlight that. And to really address it and to really talk about how egregious this new slavery system has become. And of course, you know who's going to make up the percentage of that census, the people that are there, disproportionately Black and people of color. And then even at that, let's also be mindful that many times when you talk about the sentencing and the time involved for the crime and the punishment, you still have such there's no equity there. So you may have two people that did the same crime, two people that have the same offense, and you have a Black person and a person of color that gets 2 to 3 times the sentencing length to a white counterpart. Same crime, not the same time. Well, when you start looking at 11 billion with a B, not a million, 11 billion with a B in making money from those that are incarcerated, many of them who get paid absolutely nothing, and those that do get paid very, very little. I want us to take heed of that. And again, I appreciate Jabez for putting that in. Let's have some ideas of how we need to change that system. Louisiana State Penitentiary is as large as Manhattan and is the prison capital of the world. Thank you, Dr. Dady, for that information. And they are making bank. $11 billion. That is so sick, Dendarn. That is so sick. For weed, they sentenced him 1.5 ounces to life in Louisiana. So these are the types of dastardly things that are going on, Kai Chick, that we've got to really pay attention to. And I'm going to do it, even though I'm a little tirade on today, I'm going to do it because I feel like it's appropriate for right here. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. That ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. So, I feel so sad. I feel so bad that we are a country that has made this into a means of slavery. I started to say it, but let me just surmise it in one word. This is slavery. This is slavery reenacted through the 13th Amendment. We have got to have some changes to the Constitution. I'm gonna talk about that for just a second, but I just want to read the rest of these comments. Bet he was Black, because there's no way a white person would get that kind of sentencing. And you're absolutely correct, Dendarn. And at the end of the day, even when I met with our district attorney here in Kansas, in Kansas City, and I had an opportunity to meet with her with a small number of clergy behind closed doors and have some real conversation. And I asked her, I said, what are we doing to make these discrepancies and disparities between Black and brown bodies? We gotta clean that up. What are we doing? Because rest assured, you got the difference between crack cocaine, which is funneled into the Black community. You understand what I'm saying? Funneled into the Black community. And then you got white people that are using powdered cocaine, and they can have the same identical amount, the same identical everything. And that powdered cocaine that white individuals are using, and using in abundance, I might add, you're going to get a much, much lesser time. She said the system does acknowledge the disparity, and that they are working currently to change that on the books. But it needs to happen everywhere. It's not just Kansas City. It's not just Louisiana. It's everywhere. And so I want us to be aware. And I'm almost like, I'd love to have some kind of database, and there may be one somewhere. I'd love to have a database that just had the crime, the offense, and the sentencing. I'd love to see that in some kind of system broken down in demographics where you could see Black, people of color, white, and other, and put all of that just even Steven across the board. Let us see those numbers, and I promise you those numbers will show the disparity that I'm talking about. I did feel like in Kansas City, Missouri, we do have a female district attorney who is just going at it like a tiger after its tail. She really, really is. She has really worked with the Innocence Project, which for many of you that know anything about it, out of Kansas City, Missouri, and other places, they've started where Black men predominantly who have been unjustly imprisoned for crimes they did not commit, they have started the Innocence Project. And I know one of the young men, Brother McIntyre, Lamont McIntyre, he went in as a youth. They had treated him as an adult, came out, so many years later as a grown man, life gone, to only find out that the police officer actually who was raping Black women and every other kind of dastardly thing under the sun, setting folks up, and especially Black young men, sending them to prison on trumped up evidence. And he's one of those that got out and is still waiting to get his life back for real, for real. He did win a monetary amount, but hasn't seen a penny of it. So these are the types of things that we have to acknowledge and we have to deal with correcting in the system. And it's nothing new. So yes, there is a total disparity between white and Black in the justice system. And again, even when it comes to the sentencing, there's a big, big problem. The 13th Amendment had that clause in it. And listen, at the end of the day, the prison system became new slavery. You better ask somebody. It became new slavery. So it is what it is for weed, tall pumps, and they selling it to make big bucks. Exactly. It's Diablo and his dastardly deeds. I'm coming on down. I see the prison system in America is just a subsection that helps to continue white supremacy. And that's what I want to get to. I'm going to talk about that today. And that may be my conversation to wrap us up on this Fresh Start Friday, Kim Possible. So at the end of the day, true story, Craig Cecil, your ex-boyfriend, was charged with life for weed, and Trump commuted his sentence in 2020. But he is white, so there's that. Got you. Thank you for that, tall pumps. Thank you. So at the end of the day, this is something that we need to talk about. And this is a conversation I would love for us to have. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut to the chase, because I told you I was going to be gentle. I was going to handle you real gently on today. The fathers of the Constitution, the writers and the authors of the Constitution, let's be clear, they were racist white men. Now, just let that marinate. Let that marinate right there. Y'all know how we do it in here. This is the Lion's Den, y'all. So let me come on back to my main screen. This is the Lion's Den. We're going to sing happy birthday to her again. I didn't take it out. All right. So that's my side piece. That's my side piece. Studio said I'm mad at you. Okay, so let's look at this and let's talk for real. Let's have some real talk. So the framers of the Constitution, for all of the constitutionalists that might be here, for all of the constitutionalists that are out there running here, there, and everywhere, to and fro in the earth, seeking whom they may devour. Let's deal with this truth. And y'all know how I do it in here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because I tells it like it tis. And I don't just throw shade, I shed light. I'm going to say it once more and again. The framers and the authors of the Constitution were racist white men. I said what I said. Many and most of them had slaves. Many of them had some chocolate in the cupboard over there off to the side. They had that special room over there to the side for their concubines. And at the end of the day, they framed it without black people and others in mind. It was designed and intended to keep white racist people in power. And I said just what I said. So this, Tall Pumps, I said what I said. So this is something that I'm often at odds about with people that want to say we're constitutionalists and we want to get to what were the forefathers that wrote the Constitution. What did they mean when they wrote it? They meant to keep white racist people in power. That's what they meant. That's what they meant to do. Understand, I said what I said. So this is problematic when you have people that want to continue crying and screaming. Let's go back to what the Constitution meant when they wrote it. They meant to keep white racist people in power. Be clear on that. When they amended in the 13th Amendment, when they amended and wrote that, they needed an answer to the fact of the slaves being freed. So now the slaves are free to go. And you notice Abraham didn't live too much longer. The slaves are free to go. And let's be clear, Abraham and that initial proclamation that was given for emancipation also made room for reparations. That's not something black folk came out and said, be sure you give us reparations. The government said, we're going to give you reparations. So when you hear people on this talking point, well, what are we going to do? And now, if we really tell the truth and shame the devil, I think that's why poor Abraham didn't make it. Somebody somewhere said, oh no, he done freed the slave and gonna give them something for their labor too. He got to go. Abe, honest Abe, you got to go. So at the end of the day, and when they're called on their dastardly behavior, they begin acting like they do now. Come on with that, Dr. Dady Priest. You better make it plain up in here. Make it plain. The forefathers are sincerely dead, and they were dead wrong. And you are absolutely correct, Tall Pumps. You are absolutely correct. Your brother is in prison right now doing 45 to life for something he didn't do. Even the investigator for the prosecutor said that he had nothing to do with this crime. And truck driver, I'm so sorry to hear that, but you are a perfect example in your family and the plight of your brother of exactly what I'm talking about. This is not a story that is not uncommon to many black families and many black men especially. I want us to be clear. I want us to be ever wit clear. The 13th Amendment really is what has allowed the U.S. prison to produce $11 billion worth of goods and services for little to no pay at all. Check that out. 11 billion with the B dollars with little to no pay at all. So this is where, I want us to have some clarity about how egregious this system is. The 13th Amendment, after the slaves were freed, gave another way to enslave these black people. So you had loitering. What are you doing here? We're going to pick you up and arrest you for loitering. You shouldn't be here. You're standing here doing nothing. And get hard time for loitering. People disappeared after the creation of the 13th Amendment. Black folk just disappeared. You didn't know where they went. They were in the prison system many times and or dead. But I'm addressing this prison system that is the new slavery and has been going. Don't think it's something, when we say new, it's new as of the 13th Amendment and what it did in the way of, we're going to find another way to get black bodies back in an enslaved condition. So truck driver, your brother represents one of those. excuse me, who is in the system making part of that $11 billion for this country free of charge on a crime that he did not commit, which makes it even more egregious. So at the end of the day, yes, hugs and love coming to you and your brother and your family, because this is the devastation that many black families have to endure. And this isn't the first story, truck driver, where I've heard an investigator did not agree and said very clearly, I'm talking about the prosecutor's investigator, not a privately hired by the family. The prosecutor's investigator said, no way under the sun, this is not so. And they will still send us down the river, up the river, whichever one it is. Send us into the water and to be baptized. But this baptism is not a holy baptism. This baptism is an unholy baptism that sinks us right on into the new slavery. So at the end of the day, I want us to really, really be clear when we start talking about amending the Constitution. It must be amended. And there are things in there right now that have got to go. They still operate off of the antiquated slave codes and use their influence to silence and set up black people. And you said a mouthful there, Dr. Dady Priest, and you said the absolute truth. There's no lie. Where's the lie, though? There's no lie in what you're saying. So this is the thing I want us to understand. When we keep talking about, I'm a constitutionalist, and I want to go back to the heart of the Constitution, what you're really saying is I'm for those racist white men and what they put in motion to keep the racist white men and the racist white people into the place of power in this country, no matter what happens, no matter how many immigrants come. And at the end of the day, you came from where? You wasn't born here. Your lips, hips, and fingertips were not born on this continent. No, ma'am, no, sir. So when you start looking at other immigrants and saying, no, we don't want them, don't come over here, and da-da-da-da-da, what do you think you were? And some of y'all are only 1 and 2 generation in, but yet and still, because your complexion of your melanin in your skin allows you to have a hue that looks white or close to white, you want to play the game. But at the end of the day, the Constitution needs serious amending because it was written to keep white racist people in power. I said what I said, and I know what I said. So this is where it becomes problematic when I hear even some good Christians, good evangelical Christians who want to say, we want to follow the Constitution. We're all about the Constitution. The Constitution was racist in and of itself. Number one, black folks were not even people. And the only reason why we got 3/5 is because you had so many black folks, you want to be able to use them and use their numbers so that you could get leverage and a foothold when you got into government and government seats. You wanted to go ahead and say, count them for that. Let them be 3/5 of a person, but then treat them like not a human. And at the end of the day, women were not considered, and we still have so many different elements that need to be addressed that the Constitution purposely, don't think it was strange, don't get it wrong, purposely omitted and left out because these people were not considered human beings. So when you ask me and tell me, I want to go back to the Constitution and get back to what the forefathers meant. What the forefathers meant was to be racist. Can you be clear on that? Tom. Now, you know, here in the Lion's Den, Tom has a totally different meaning after we had that show on sex toys. But Tom, I'm talking about Tom Jefferson, but he was a Tom, and he had a Tom. He had a Tom that had a concubine over there in that wall. Push the door to that secret room and go on down there and get Sally. Yes, Tom had Sally. So at the end of the day, I want us to understand these individuals were diabolical in their mindset toward black people and other people of color and indigenous peoples. So this is where I want us to understand, when you start running around and you start coming up to me with your religious self, especially, when you start coming to me talking about, we want this interpreted back to the way our forefathers meant for it to be. Whose forefathers you talking about? Because that ain't my daddy. That is not my pappy. That ain't my guy. That's y'all's guy. That's your grandpappy. That's your grandpa. That ain't none of mine. And your grandpappy didn't think nothing of my grandpappy. So at the end of the day, this needs to be reframed. Come on, Kim Possible. And as much as folk love Bill Clinton, he signed the bill that put more black people in prison. And you told the truth there, Kim Possible. You told the truth there. And Bill, I'm just a Bill. Well, I'm only a Bill. Yes, Bill. Bill sent a whole lot of people to prison. He sent a whole lot of black folk to prison. So he was just a puppet. You don't believe it was him running the country. Well, you know, that's 99% of the time, din darn. Those people are figureheads. They're not really running the country. Let's be clear on that all the way across the board. So, you know, I'm looking and I'm saying, Tom and Sally were lovers. Frankie and now Tom and Sally were lovers. And at the end of the day, I don't know how much Sally loved Tom, but Tom loved what Sally had. So, what did the pastor say? Pocketbook. That's my pocketbook. Tom liked that pocketbook and the contents thereof. And every chance he got, Tom was in that pocketbook tapping away. But Tom, I don't care how much he wants to say, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. He didn't mean Sally and Sally's cheering that she bore him. Even though I understand he did give them freedom. And at the end of the day, yeah, I could say a whole lot about that, but that's not what I'm talking about right here. The war on drugs, and they were responsible for how the school system began to tilt regarding test scores. Come on here, Dr. Dady. Y'all talking up in here. You all are. Listen, you know how we do it in the Lion's Den. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. And I don't just throw shade, I shed light. And you all are shedding light in here on today. So this is where I want us to understand. Don't come out puppeting and mimicking this same conversational talk that you've heard people give down through the years, and somehow you got it down in your shondo. No, we do not want to go back and interpret the Constitution the way that our forefathers interpreted what they meant when they said it, when they wrote it, whatever. No, ma'am, no, sir. These are racist people. So this is where we've got to start saying there has to be a change must come. We've got to identify the areas of lack and the areas of disenfranchisement to black people especially, and the people of color, because at the end of the day, there has to be an address by this country to right this wrong. You cannot take a foundation that was jacked from the beginning and try to build a house on top of it and make it right. So we're going to have to go back before we do a whole lot of things in the way of having forward progress and movement, and rip up some of that, yes, I said it, rip up some of that Constitution that some of these folks are so madly in love with. Some of that Constitution is going to have to be broken down, reframed, rewritten, amended, and brought back in a way that treats everybody in a place of equality. If you don't do that, you're going to always have in the courts, and this is where the Supreme Court has really gotten off track. The Supreme Court, who now wants to say we're looking for constitutionalists. And anytime I hear that word now, for me, it's code. We want somebody that's going to help us support this racist agenda. So, and I don't care if there's black people on there, they want somebody that can uphold that racist agenda. And at the end of the day, you know, let's look at the real, and as somebody said, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, all kinfolk ain't skin folk, whatever way that goes. At the end of the day, I want us to understand that we have got to begin to get at the root of law. Because as long as there are laws on the books, Dr. Dady addressed and referred back to something when she said slave laws and slave codes. A lot of those slave laws and slave codes are still in full effect, you all. This is something that we've got to pay serious attention to. And then even as we talk, go Ratty, come on in here. There's my guy. I love you. See you. So much love coming to you. No puppets here in the Lion's Den, Cassandra. Ain't no puppets here. We take this cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like a T-I-Z-T-S. So at the end of the day, I want us to understand there has got to be some basic modifying to these documents so that we can ever get to a place of fairness, because as long as the Supreme Court, and I'm like, this feels like ping pong. This Supreme Court says this is what we rule. Then just give it enough time. And then this Supreme Court says this is what we rule. Now, you're supposed to be biased and the law is supposed to be based on justice for everybody. But at the end of the day, if that's the reality, how come we have this ping pong game based on whoever is in majority rule and whoever has the majority of the court? This is how the ball goes today. And then tomorrow the ball's going another way. And we playing ping pong with something that's supposed to be set in stone. Until we change these laws and get the Constitution in a position of amendments that allow it to represent all people fairly, where you can't, as the wind blows and as things turn and as things change, this is how the law goes today, but it might be a different law tomorrow. No, ma'am, no, sir. And the Supreme Court obviously and apparently has been unable to follow the idea of justice is blind. And we're in a whole nother dilemma. I'm sick of it. We've got to get strong clarity. We've got to get something that really speaks to changing the Constitution and amending it where it is all inclusive. That has not happened yet. So this is something that really, I hope we understood. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Thank you, Kim Possible. Thank you. My brain is not it's half working today. Monica L. Smith, there's my baby. Come on in the room, sis. I'm happy to see you. And if I didn't get Barbara Hardy earlier, I saw her name and I forgot to shout her out. That's my girl. The disparities are glaring in the social determinants. Housing, AKA redlining, healthcare, entrepreneurship designed for the majority. The planning process begins with decades before we get to the table, i.e. Roe v. Wade. Come on here, Dr. Dady. You talking to me and you're talking my kind of talk this morning. This is where we've got to get to these areas. SB 1987, good morning to you. Come on in here. So glad to have you in the Lion's Den. People have to be represented in more places than marching. Come on with that, Dr. Dady. We've got to be represented in more places than marching. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So listen, this is my Tina Turner version. We taking it slow and easy this morning. Understand, please, if you will, sir. Understand this. We have got to have a system that at its core deals with actual inclusion. We can't keep trying to patch. You know, there's a Bible verse that says you can't put new wine in the old bottles, in the old skins, or they're gonna break. Come on, One Reason is in the room. That's my bishop. He's here, y'all. That's the bishop of Twitch. One Reason is him. If you're not following him, quit your wicked ways. I need you to follow him right now. So good to see you, and thank you for that resub. 13 months in a row. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate you, and you know I love you. So listen, this is where I want to have this talking point, because I even hear black folk running around. You know, we want the Constitution. We want to go back to the Constitution. And I'm looking at black folk like, really? Really? You want to go back to the Constitution and what it originally meant? And I just want to know why. I just want to know now, because I'm not going back to slavery. I'm not going to be 3/5 of a person, or however much you determine at the time you want me to be. Because, and what I say at the time, the same way they do Roe v. Wade, and you get this court that now is packed and they have an opinion that you know is going to lean far right. What's going to happen when you get one that leans even farther right and says, you know what, they were right. They're only 3/5 of a person. You know what? They were right. They ain't even people at all. Until we get Michelle Brownell, good morning to you. That's my quiet storm. I see you. So much love coming to you. But I hope you all are understanding the seriousness and the context of what I'm saying. Until we get a constitution that is clearly and concisely amended for inclusion, that cannot go with every wind of doctrine that blows along with this court to that court, but stands firmly on its own 2 feet, until we get that document and constitution and amendments in place, no, ma'am, no, sir. We need something else. We got to keep working lest we keep playing this game of ping pong. Because you're not going to tell me I'm 3/5 of a person. You're just going to have to kill me because I'm not 3/5 of a person. Never was, never will be. You're not going to tell me that as a female, I don't matter. You're not going to tell me as a female, I don't have the right to my own body. And the difference between our genitalia gives you certain unalienable rights, but my genitalia does not have those same certain unalienable rights. Well, if that's the case, let your genitalia not have the unalienable rights to meet with my genitalia. How about that? How about you gets none? You gets none. If my certain unalienable rights for my genitalia are not protected, you don't get any. How about that? So at the end of the day, come on, LaWanda Baskerville, come on. She rated with just one. Won't you come?
Big Moochie, baby. Hey, come on, right now, we're going out to the entire set.
LaWanda Baskerville. Come on.
Step on over to your right.
To your right.
Step on over to your left.
To your left.
Now walk it on back.
Now walk it on back.
Don't move on over to your right.
To your right.
Move it on over to your left.
To your left.
Step up, now walk it on back.
Now walk it on back. Come on in here. Miracle Signs and Wonders is in the room with that one person raid. And I appreciate you for coming on in here. Dr. Dady, they're on Coochie Patrol. They're on Coochie Patrol. And at the end of the day, Jonna, you gets none. You gets none. Clank, clank, lock it up. You gets none. Go on over there with whatever you got to get and go on about your business, but you gets none. So at the end of the day, this is what I want us to understand. Yes, Coochie Patrol. This is what I want to understand, and I want you to get some clarity on. Until we get some hard and fast documents, laws, constitutions, and amendments there too. All of this back and forth ping pong game that seems to be okay, but it's not okay. We need to shut this down. So I urge us, let us start being mindful, because otherwise we're just going to go back and forth. We're just going to go back and forth. We're just going to go back and forth. And that is in no wise what we want to do. And I keep hearing, you gets none. I see y'all talking, you gets none. I just want you to understand that while we keep having these conversations back and forth, it's really about people's rights and the rights that you can have and the rights that you don't have. Even for those that are proponents and pro-life, okay, that's fine and good, but I still need you to help it make sense, make it make sense to me why you cannot understand the right to your own body and the right to make choices for your body. What you decide to do with your body, it's your body. So this is the part that where, and let me say this, and even though some folks are gonna get mad, the United States is not a Christian country. Now, I know somebody just lost your weave and your wig right there. The United States is not a Christian country. There was the designation as it was to have been, but obviously not intended, the separation of church and state. Because if you remember, the reason why the folk left England to begin with was that they did not want to be under the rulership of the church and the royalty that determined what kind of religion you can worship in. Then why would you come over here and make something that's totally Christian and ignore all of the other faith traditions that people have the right to exercise? Hear me when I say this. People have the right to exercise religious beliefs other than Christianity. So to insist on making this whole country Christian, that in and of itself is an abomination, and it's not, at the end of the day, y'all don't want to hear me, especially the real churchy church folk, but people have the right to believe the way that they want to believe. So, that might be the problem. They ain't getting none because Little Debbie has been... Little Debbie been laying prostrate with Davante and them. Dr. Dady. Listen, I do, but Houston, there is a problem. And they've been coming out. Okay, I'm gonna stop because listen, my brain is racing, but I have to censor. I have to censor myself. Oh, but I got a whole lot to say about them Little Debbie cakes, them Little Debbie snack cakes, them Little Debbie snack cakes. There's so much I can say about that. So at the end of the day, I just look and I'm like, no. At the end of the day, I have the right of my own body. The USA is a sinful and evil nation. Kim Possible, we are, and as much as we want to say in God we trust and God bless America, I'm telling you, the things that are really undercurrents that are constantly running in this country speak to our lack of love of God, if nothing else, and definitely not love for humanity. So these are things, and I love my country, don't get me wrong. I love it here. Ain't going nowhere. For everybody, it's like, well, if you don't like it here, go somewhere. I'm in the country I was born in. I live here. You're not sending me anywhere. I'm not going to pack my bags and go anywhere, and surely not because you said it. So you're going to check your communion stash. Y'all cracking me up. And I just want us to be clear. When you hear all these talking points, I gotta say this, and I have to say it unequivocally, unabashedly. The founders and the framers of the Constitution were racist white men, and they wrote it with the intent to stay in power. So come on, folks. And that's why when I go back to Hershey's chocolate full of nuts. When I go back to Hershey's chocolate full of nuts and that whole conversation he had that made absolutely positively no sense whatsoever. When that is what we're talking about, placing in high levels of government to make decisions for our lives. Listen. When Hershey's chocolate full of nuts is who we vote into office in the state of Georgia. Baby, Mitch McConnell. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? The spirit is crying out. We just can't take it. These people are crazy. So at the end of the day, Little Debbie like Big Macs, Big Black Macs. In God we trust is merely a tagline and not a belief system in this country. And I want us to be clear on that. Little Debbie moved from Dwight to Davante. Y'all clowning in here. At the end, yes, Hershey chocolate full of nuts, John. That's what he is. He's a Hershey chocolate full of nuts. We don't want that because I'm going to go back to the point that I said initially. The framers of the Constitution were racist. We need legislation and changes and amendments to the Constitution that reflect inclusion for everybody. And everybody means everybody. So for the 3/5 lovers of the Constitution out there, we're not going back. Black ain't going back. Black ain't going back. For all of you 3/5 lovers of the Constitution, black ain't going back. So I want to underscore the importance of the people that were voting into these positions, because these are the individuals that it would fall to make these amendments and make these changes. It must happen. Some of this other stuff that we're talking about doesn't amount to a hill of beans. Some of the arguments that they're having don't amount to a hill of beans. You know, a lot of this is just blowing hot air. And as they used to say back in my day, you're talking loud and saying nothing. You're talking loud, but saying nothing. So I want us to understand the importance, and we need to start saying, these are the topics. Y'all pick your topics, you pick and choose, y'all cherry pick what you want to deal with. But we need to start putting pressure on these elected officials to actually get to the meat. We're tired. We ain't even hardly getting gravy. We surely not getting any meat with that gravy. We're tired of the little tad bit of gravy that's getting thrown out there every now and again. We need to get to the heart of the matter. We need to get to the meat of the issue, and we need to have some real conversations. The Constitution in its current form, written by racist authors, needs to be amended. Let's go there. So at the end of the day, I'm not putting that in the atmosphere, Kim Possible. I'm just talking, you know how I do. And you know, the time is almost up, but I'm just talking and I'm just chatting. But Lord knows we don't want no Hershey chocolate sitting up in there. We just don't. Herschel doesn't seem to know he's really Hershey. There's a whole lot that Hershey doesn't know. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot that Hershey doesn't know. And Dr. Dady, I don't know if you were here when we ran that little clip. Auntie Diddy sent me a clip that we played today on News and Views. And anybody can, in my Discord channel, send something to News and Views. I think Auntie Diddy sent me that while I was moving, and I did not get an opportunity to play that. Both she and Jabez sent some News and Views. But that clip over there, go over there and watch it, and you'll see the state of confusion that man is in. That man, honey, he's confusion in every evil work. That man is confusion in every evil work. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That's surely not who we want to have lips, hips, and fingertips sitting in the seat of government. So I just wanted to check you on that, because some of the rhetoric that's going on right now, he's ignorant for real. He's ignorant. He's past ignorant. He's ignorant. Before you change the Constitution, honor the part that says you owe me my money. Cut. Tall pumps is pumping tall. Cut me my check. Give me my money. Cut the check. Where's my money? Cut the check. We want that before you get up out of here. Honor what you said you were going to do. Cut the check. Now, so as we get ready to get up out of here, I want to appreciate you all for coming in today. I told you I just wanted to slide and glide. It was nothing heavy today. It was all about just coming in and making our presence known and reconnecting with my peeps. I love you guys. When I tell you I missed you all, that is not just words. I really, really missed you guys. It's good to be back. I don't know, Rebel, are we raiding? Are we staying? Are we just going to lock it down? I'm not sure what we're getting ready to do. Let me know. You'll take student loan forgiveness. I feel you on that. Didn't Joe tell us we were getting student loan forgiveness? There is a bill on the table that reduces the 10 years to 5 years, and the peoples won't let it be great. It's horrible, Dr. Dady. It's horrible. So at the end of the day, I love y'all. You know I love y'all. I love you, Dr. Dady. Everybody that came in to see me this morning, thank you. We will be back for Good Grief on this afternoon, 12 o'clock in this channel. Good Grief at 12 o'clock in this channel. I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. I know it was slow and low today, but that's kind of like my energy in me. I'm slow and low today, so my energy's kind of like I am. He did that wearing the blue suit on the steps in Wisconsin. Come through, Dr. Dady. You know, Kim Possible, I did. I loved y'all. I missed y'all, and I love you so much. Now, 12 o'clock, please be here. Good Grief, the journey is on. If you're on that journey of grief, you are not alone. And that grief can be loss of anything, not just loss of loved ones, but anything that you're grieving. We're here for you, and you are not alone. Meet us back here at, please do it, at 12 o'clock. And you will be blessed. Cassandra, I see you, girl. Show us some money now. Cut several checks. And I got my friend, I brought him. This is just for all of y'all in the church house with tall pumps. This is your daily hymn. Where's my money? Where's my money? Please, Pastor, turn that water into wine. We're out of here, y'all. Good Grief, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be here. With that, you all, we're getting up out of here. It's time to go. It's time to go, and it's good to be back. Now, come on, y'all. You know how we do it in here. This has been Spiritual Thought Leader with another edition of Yes, You, O-Cube. And I'm so glad that you joined me on today. Now, let's go. You can follow me, y'all. I'm out there. You can see me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, Discord, Anchor, and more. Just find me out there and follow me, would you please? And those that are following, I want to say thank you to you. I wouldn't be here without you. You know our mantra. We don't have intimidation. We don't have fear. We have power. We have love. We have a sound mind. And as long as we're operating in love, we are all powerful in love. And we're not just talking about change. We understand we are the change. Be the change that you want to see. Won't you do that? And listen, this pride, this Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. It's us, you, me, we, all. We're all in this thing together, y'all. We're all in this thing together, and I just love it. Don't you? Now, come on. I had some beautiful people on today. It's not the den of iniquity. It's the den of activity. I had some beautiful moderators up in here this morning. The Rebel Inc., I appreciate you. You are my lifeline. Michelle Brownell, thank you so much for all that you do. I appreciate you all. New to the Lion's Den, B1, E1, A1R, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you, Crazy Berrytown, for that resub. And I gotta say, listen, LaWanda Baskerville, for that one-woman run, raid, and for everybody that came and was a part of that hype train, for every sub, for every gifted sub, for every resub, for all the roaring biddies. I appreciate you guys. You are the absolute best. Now, copy that raid message, because we're going somewhere. Hey, with boss energy, we're going to somebody else's channel. Come on and go with me. Now, as my moderator, Shelly Thunder, always says, now have an amazing day on purpose. And you know what I tell you, peace for your journey.